You guys are blessed. I hope you guys have your eyes open, and we are still exposing one of the greatest grifts that I've ever seen. And it's really not a great grift, but it is a grift on the backs of people that should not be taken advantage of. And I'm going to take us back to this house at 3396 Panther Road, Vineland. I don't know how they say it, New Jersey 08361. Well, it's $394,000, and you got three. Look at all those sixes in there, right? Three nines down there. You got three sixes. So, it's just the signs and symbols that come out of this entire story. And what I would like to do is take our attention to a couple of things that I have discovered in the last day. And everybody who has ever donated to the HalleluYAH Scriptures needs to be very, very aware of this. There should be a class action lawsuit right now. This house right here needs to have a lien put on it immediately. And let me show you guys why. Now I'm going to take us back to the paperwork of the HalleluYAH Scriptures. And there, I'll take us up to the top to begin with, because I think it's very imperative that we understand what we are dealing with, and that I am providing all the proof that people will need to make the decisions they need. If you guys are participating with the HalleluYAH Scriptures and the United in Yah, I realize a lot of people think they're serving Yah. But when the funds that go to this are going to support financial gain, that is a problem. That is a huge problem. Now, there's a problem that I discovered yesterday. And there's a gal, and this is the sister of Alan Horvath. And in 2020, the HalleluYAH Scriptures, and I have evidence, I have proof. I would never present this stuff to you guys unless I could prove this without a shadow of a doubt. In the year 2020, at the end of it, coming on 2021, the owners of the HalleluYAH Scriptures, who are Ken Weisel and Deborah Weisel, and it sounds a lot like Weasel, and that's for a good reason. Now, they purchased $70,000 of gold and silver, and it was delivered in the United States of America. Now, that $70,000 of gold and silver was $40,000 in gold, and catch this, 30 pieces of silver, or $30,000 in silver. What an ironic number. Now, this was delivered to a gentleman who had absolutely really nothing to do with any of this. He was what the HalleluYAH Scriptures, they use people over and over and over. Right now, I have three primary suspects, and this gal actually would be four. So the gold was delivered to one of their courier mules in 2020 and the early 2021, and it was when COVID went. Now, Ken and Deborah Weisel, whatever, they are extremely paranoid. When the entire COVID thing came around, they decided they were going to drain the HalleluYAH Scriptures account, and they drained it, and they bought that gold and silver, and it was delivered. It was delivered to Adele Horvath. It was delivered. We have witness statements. We have all of this. Now, this is a crime in of itself, but yet there is more to this. There's a lot more to this, and I'm going to break it down little bits at a time as we do this. But for right now, everybody that donated, I would say, in 2019, or at least part of it, if you donated at all, you guys now own $70,000 worth of metals, which more than likely are in New Zealand with Ken and Deborah Weisel. So this leads us to a lot of questions. She is a suspect. Robert Liu is a suspect. And I don't think anyone else is here, but listen to this right here. Shalom White does not exist. This is not a real person. This is a pseudonym of Deborah Weasel, one of her many pseudonyms. Max Allen, or who calls himself Max Weiss, or none of these are their names. They've stolen one of Deborah's last names. Her second husband was Allen. So now that her last name is Weissel, they stole their second husband's last name and they use it. So Max Allen and Shalom White do not exist. These people they're not real. They're pseudonyms. So technically, Adele, the people that are on this list are the people that really, unfortunately, because they are on this list, they are complicit with this. Because everyone in this list owns this $400,000 house. This Robert Liu, and we found his kids. We found supposedly Matthew and Aubrey. So we're finding all of this stuff. But this address of this guy, supposedly Robert Liu, he doesn't live here, right? We've done background checks on this. This dude does not live there. I don't know where he lives. I don't know who this guy is or where he came from. We have bits and pieces and we're tracking him down. But all of these people, when they've set up people like this treasurer right here, the treasurers are people that have to put their names on the bank accounts. And the HalleluYAH Scriptures has the names of the owners have no names on any of these accounts. There are no fall guys except for all of the courier mules that these guys use. So the question on this particular video is, what about the $70,000 that was ordered in 2020 and 2021 and was delivered to more than likely New Zealand? But for sure, it was delivered to Adele Horvath. Now, what do we make of this? She is complicit because she was the person who ended up with it in the United States of America. Now, when you do this kind of stuff where you're stealing money and then you ship it overseas, this becomes an international crime. So when we're dealing with an international crime, we have to deal with people like, the international police, right? This would be a Federal Bureau of Investigation. Adele Horvath, because she is part of the money people that has seen and is spending all of this cash and buying all of this, she is completely complicit in all of this. Whether or not she's innocent or not, I don't know, but she has the blood of all of the donors on her hands. And she has been helping Deborah and Ken Weisel create a ginormous enterprise on the backs of the people. So I want to bring this to your attention. And this is I love public investigations. I love public investigations. I hate the stuff, well, let's just gather all of the evidence, put it all together, and then let's see if anything happens. No, let's put this out for absolutely everyone, because the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. And we have countless and countless, endless statements of people that have been violated, have been robbed, have been destroyed by the people of the HalleluYAH Scriptures that are all involved in the United for Yah. United for Yah is simply another company by Deborah and Ken Weisel that is used to extort people. And even though they sit there and Robert Liu looks the part, I don't know if he is innocent or if he is not innocent, but because his name, and if you are reading the book of Proverbs, you're not supposed to hang out with bad people because things like this can happen. If your name is on paperwork with bad people, that makes you a suspect. So the FBI needs to look at Adele Horvath as a prime suspect, as Deborah Weisel as the mastermind behind this entire thing, Ken Weisel as being a slaved, basically complicit, compliant guy to his wife, and then Robert Liu. Because Robert Liu, whether or not he is good or whether or not he is bad, he is leading what they call United in Yah. And this United in Yah is it really is a new age style stuff. When you look at the speakers, there are a couple of good speakers, but when you look at the doctrine of a lot of these speakers, it is not the same. You have people that are Trinitarians that will swear to you that our Creator and His Son are the exact same people. When you read scriptures, all you have to do is read the book of John, and it is very clear. Our Messiah says that He is the Son. He never once said He is Elohim. So we either have to accept that our Messiah is a filthy liar and that his dad is a filthy liar, and we have to be okay with that when they tell us not to be liars and tell us not to be dishonest and tell us to have right weights and measurements, or we have to take them at their word. And they say the Son says He is the Son and the Father says He is the Father. They come to do the togetherness that they are working on. It's the Father and Son team. So you have a doctrine of many, many religions that you have under United for Yah. You have people for hours and hours and hours that are singing and praising Yah, while these people are accepting donations because people get into the mood, and there are no orphans. I do not believe there are any orphans. And I have another video, which I may do later on today, which if anybody has ever donated to any of these orphan plans or any of these orphan supposed grifts that these guys have or any of this stuff, your money has been used, more than likely, I would say 95% of it has been used for evil gain. Are they buying Bibles? Yes. I have confirmation of huge warehouses of Bibles for sale, right? But as far as them just giving away thousands and thousands and thousands of Bibles, it is a for-profit company. But when you are putting your donations to the backs of them and they are buying $70,000 of precious metals in the year 2020 and 2021, and they had just finished off, there's a lot more in this house. There is a tremendous more. There's a lot of dirt. This barely scratches the surface. I'm trying to break this down little bits at a time so we don't overwhelm people with all of the evidence. The evidence is clear. These people are a criminal organization. They need to be investigated. The police, and not even the police couldn't do anything. At this point, you need an international investigation that brings down this little tiny gang of grifters that have been tap dancing on the backs of Yahuwah's people for years. That's all I have to say on this video. I'm done.